want my new fans.
I don't want that on
Get
you.
right into it.
Go ahead, dive in.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Do the intro.
So we already know
Let's
what it
get
is,
it
man. Blunt Honesty Podcast, Hooligan Gang, bang, bang, man. We got a banger for you today. But we got Amani Tre Niner, man. Let's give it up for him. You know what I mean?
I'm excited to be here.
Anybody can get it.
Hey man, say,
Come on.
like, you hit that. You
Feel
feel
me? Hey, man. So we already been rapping, prior to the cameras being on. So we really already in motion. My first question to you is, what made you take your music off of the web?
First, it was a lot of hard work getting rid of my music from online. My assistant worked day and night for probably a year and some change doing this. But I didn't want my new fans to have an equivalent amount of fandom as my old fans.
Okay.
There's tiers to the fans that I have that will create a hierarchy.
Copy.
And who knows what, there's some fans that don't know anything about what I do. They know that I say things that they didn't know they needed to hear, and at the end of it I say,
Right.
and that's fine. And there's fans that I have that have never seen me on social media or any television, anything.
Let me ask you, because I feel like you're a person who, you're pretty transparent. You know what I mean? At least
That's not true.
you're not transparent?
Not at all.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this.
Not on social. You talking about like social media?
I was
and the
mean, like
internet?
in general, like you're a genuine person. That's what I mean
yes,
by
my
that.
bad. I apologize.
You're a genuine
Yeah.
person. So, what I mean by my question was, so
I thought you were talking about social media. I'm very deceitful.
well, I guess that would probably be the answer to the question, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. So the question is, I feel like the genuine personality that you have, why would you not want to show the people a part of you as in the music?
Because then what do I have?
You still got your life. You still got everything.
I got to keep things to me. You know what I mean? And if I'm expressing it in an outlet, right? That outlet can have what it has, and other outlets can have. But I think it's so important to keep things to yourself,
Right.
or to almost itemize them to people that you trust them with.
That's important to you.
I think it should be important to everybody. Otherwise, you get drained of all your essentials. You know what I mean? And at a time when I was rapping, it was a lot of information that I would drop off that I now would not like a person to know.
Copy.
You know what I mean?
And then, we haven't got that far yet, but if your presence online is at a rate or such that, you're always in the eye of the consumer,
Yeah.
I can understand where you don't necessarily want some of the things that you might have spoke about or been on at that
You
time.
know what people forget? People think the things they post are only being seen by the people that they want to see it.
Copy.
But boy, it's somebody screen recording, screenshotting everything you post.
Yeah.
And they're not your friend. They're not a fan.
And that's crazy. People don't even think like that.
It's crazy.
People don't even think like this. Because like in battle rap, people will say, man, you don't think people not watching, but they watching.
Absolutely.
Somewhere down the line, they watch.
Yeah, and your grandma is sick, and you sad, and you posting pictures holding her hand and all this, and Buddy is racking up artillery.
Yeah, like you said, you'll be surprised how many times people who you haven't even spoke to seen in years that come up, oh man, I've been following you, da 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 da, and like, damn, you didn't like it, you didn't comment. I
don't need you to comment. I know what you're saying.
I didn't know that you was, following because you didn't say nothing.
No, I think you're right. I knew.
Yeah.
I know that, and I'm saying that I'm just very conscious of the viewers and how they consume information, because I was a viewer. I consumed, and I would scroll past things that I didn't know I was collecting as information. You know what I mean?
So let me ask you a question with that, how you were saying. Like basically what I was just getting out of that is everything ain't for everybody.
Facts.
To me, because like I was saying earlier, you like sometimes I like F these ends, you know what I'm saying? Like it's cool
We're not
to
supposed
say
to
that.
cuss.
We try to monetize.
I don't know the rules.
It's
15 minutes.
Yeah, that's fine. You got it.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't on your end if we ain't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Blunt honesty over here.
Yeah.
Honesty, you know what
I
I'm
think
saying?
it's a thing about blunt honesty that's got to be.
Yeah.
Open, man. That's the thing, man. I've been working on, man. Matter of fact, I seen one of your videos the other day, man, and it hit. I was telling my lady this, man. It's like he was talking about helping, right? Somebody is genuine to help you,
Ooh.
but you can tell if a didn't want to help you, and that makes you a piece of shit.
I don't think
That's so real, bro. I ain't even gonna hold you. That hit home for a week.
I think the important thing, and a lot of the confusion in that was, well, it's all right for somebody to be honest and transparent to say that they didn't want to help,
right.
and that's fine, but just don't.
Then don't. You better off not doing.
Just don't, because to do something that you would call caring or selfless, but to express all of the selfishness, man, keep your little help.
Yeah, that's just like saying if somebody need a place to stay, right? And you know they need a place to stay.
Yeah.
But you ain't trying to you've been homeless before, not in trying to put the business out there, but you know what it is. So
Absolutely.
You don't want to come across like that, but they know. They don't want you in their house for a certain time, man. You gotta be out of here in good 90 days, you hear me? Like,
just to play devil's advocate, because I seen that same video, and I was like, I feel him, but at the same time, it's like, I'm gonna give you my helping hand, but if I want to, you're gonna hear my mouth about it too, because a lot of people will take yo for granted. Like the same hand that you help them with will be the same one they bite, you know what I mean, try to break off and snap because you know what I mean, you didn't really express what it meant to you to help them.
Yeah, so what it means to help, like how important it is different from ridicule. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is what I'm referring to. I think in the visual it was something along the line. I don't memorize these things. Something along the lines of you help me and that makes you a great person, but you put more energy into letting me know you didn't want to help me.
Yeah, now that is a little different.
That's exactly what it is. And I think in that situation, that's where the problem is. Like, don't do nothing. I tell people quite often that nobody can pay me to do anything that I wouldn't already do for free.
Okay.
You feel me?
That makes sense.
So imagine doing something for somebody against your own better judgment.
too, like,
And then holding it over their head.
Yeah, that's
leave that boy alone.
That's what I'm saying. You ain't gotta, you know what I'm saying? If you gonna be, you told me this years ago, bro. If somebody gonna help you, make sure it's genuine. Make sure it's really something behind it. Make sure not that it's beneficial for that person to make you feel like, but also lift you up by the help.
I think the important thing is to try your best not to need help.
Yeah.
That's the bigger thing for me. Is if anybody has ever helped me, I'm doubling back. I'm punching on them 1,000 times. I'm gonna make sure I'm in a position where the people that's with me can tell you every relationship in here is built off of what I think I can contribute. You see what I'm saying? And that's way bigger than you could imagine. Sometimes just a conversation that you don't quite benefit from can be empowering to somebody else. But if you later have a conversation about how much you put into
that takes away all.
Come on, why you ain't tell me this in the first place? Then I could have told you to move around.
Instead of wasting my time, wasting somebody else's time too. And people doing it too, man. People really,
and not even so much wasted time, but compromising my integrity. Mm-hmm. Why are you trying to hurt my feelings while I'm already in a rough situation? Like things are not going well right now, and you trying to punch on me.
Yeah, there is some ridicule for that for sure. Because there's that, you know what I mean? That's character flaws. But I want to ask you because, I feel like now you got to a point where you're a lot, you're polished. You know what I mean? You're not the end product, but you know what I'm saying? It's a product that people can, look up to in high regards. But, the journey to that is what I'm interested in. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Because I know it was a lot of reflection, self-work, you know what I mean? The grind, all of that. I want to hear about some of that story on how you got to become the Amani Tre Niner that we now see. You know what I mean? Because I know you didn't start this way, but you did. You tell me.
It's we don't have enough time. We don't have enough memory cards. We don't have there's a large portion of it that would be more boring to listen to and pitiful, I think, sometimes. But it's who I am is a very intentional separation from who other people are. I think that's the best way to describe it.
You know what? I watched an interview with, I don't know who it was, about 5 years ago, but somebody was like, they said, you know, if I could do it, then you could do it, and you cut him off like, no, hell no. He was like, the reason I can do it is because I am what I am. You know what I mean? And I put in the work, and you can't do it because you ain't You know what I mean? So it's a big difference. So that kind of plays into what you said.
Yes. Somebody asked me before, like, who is the next you? Like, who is the, who is the person? And I think the answer remains, if there was a person that could equate to or exceed in all the ways that I am, that person is not yet born. You know what I mean? The things that it took to make me came rough and some circumstances that I wouldn't wish on nobody. The things that I'm grateful for now, the younger me would probably want to whoop me for appreciating. Man, that's unprofessional. This is my son. I'm in an interview, boy. All right. So my son is 18, and yeah, that's a whole nother. People don't even know I got children.
Yeah.
I don't post I raised my son by myself his whole life.
Damn. Salute to that. Gotta give him one on that one. You know what I'm saying? For real.
That goes into a question I got for you, right?
Yeah.
So we was talking a few minutes ago, basically how certain things aren't meant for like everybody, like especially.
Yeah.
What was something that made that decision for you to be like, oh yeah, hell, I ain't with this. This is a crap.
No, that's every day. I don't even know what you're talking about. Every day there's an extinction level event.
Oh, okay. I was meaning like years ago, like we made that actual decision that you're gonna separate everything from.
I don't think so. I hear that a lot where people have this definitive moment, right? And they're like, "That's when I knew I was this day one."
Okay.
To give you an example, right? I grew up in a house full of women, 5 women. So my mama got 7 children, 3 boys, right? But my oldest brother is 10 years older than me. That was the first child. My younger brother is 13 years younger than me. My mama's last child. So I didn't grow up with boys. I grew up in a house full of women. Immediately, I don't want to be like, nigga in this house. You feel me? You don't know. To give an example, I've been sounding like this since I was 13. You don't know what that's like in a house full of women to find comfort in a voice that sounds like a grown man. You know what I mean? So like intentionally not sounding like, intentionally not acting like, intentionally not collecting the mannerisms of women in a house. You know what I'm saying? My intentionality, I think that's the word, to be myself or just to be something was from day one.
Okay.
Even though my older sister, I treat her like my little sister because side note, I'm a father in the entire family, right? Unintentionally, I'd rather not, but
it is what it is.
Yeah, right. But this fool was, when we play in house, I got to be whatever she say. I'm the janitor. I'm the, you know what I'm saying? So you have to find a moment to say, nah, that ain't. Integrity is a gift that not all people have.
Agreed. Because especially in 2024, it's morals are
2024, 2001, 1901, 1803, 1722. Morals and integrity have not always been on the forefront. But I think greatness is remembered in time. So what you look at is 2024 being immoral, you comparing it to the great things of 96, the great things of 82. But it was terrible people and things swept under the rug.
No, you're absolutely right. Because a lot of people always be like, oh man, I just love back in the 80s, but I'm like, so the crack era or back in the 70s, you know what I mean?
Oh, you just forgot about
or such and such, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or this, that, and the third. So I agree with you. I agree with you.
I think it's easy to put a negative connotation on where we currently are, wherever current is, because classic, like nothing is classic while it's happening.
True.
You know what I mean?
And that's from the smallest thing, like from like food, clothes,
Absolutely.
history gonna repeat itself. Like it's people wearing it to a degree. I feel like
Not at all.
You don't think so?
Not at all. I think that, and I'm trying not to be like intentionally argumentative, but
you good.
history can never repeat itself.
Explain. Yeah,
Give me something in history
Okay.
that people fear could repeat itself.
Why it's gotta be feared to be for it to repeat?
Then why would you care about history repeating itself?
I mean,
success.
Okay.
Even good things cannot repeat themselves because we advance. Forward moving, the chronological order of things will not allow something that's happened before to happen again.
See, kind of answer my question because I was getting ready to start listing like food and clothing, how they got bell-bottom jeans now that's coming back.
But they don't have bell-bottom jeans.
I mean, they ain't called bell-bottom
Because they're not bell-bottom jeans.
Gotcha. How you just did that? How you just freaked that and did that? I see what
We
you
got to
did
be
there.
realistic. Those are stacks. Those are different.
Yeah.
The waist is different, high-waisted now. These are influence from things that to say history repeats itself would be to say that influence. I think you're misspelling influence for history.
I'm not going down that hill because I don't really have a dog in that fight.
That's
but
fair.
I do feel where I come from on that. I do feel like from the stance they'll say nothing new under the sun. I do feel maybe history doesn't repeat itself, but I do kind of see that things are cyclical and that they do kind of revolve and do come back. For instance, your style of dress, I don't think that it's per se, it's not old fashioned. It's not nothing retro, but I would feel in today's modern time, you stand out because you dress a certain way. Would you agree or disagree?
Okay, yeah, intentionally, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Now with that, do you feel like this is, obviously it's up to date, it's modern, you got all your, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's nice, but I'm saying like, I would feel like most people would associate your clothing style to a prior time.
Oh, I think you hang around the wrong niggas. Anybody that would believe that. And I say that because I'm not in a suit, you know?
Today.
I'm not in, no.
Don't you usually wear suits or?
You might see me. I stopped wearing suits. I probably only wore 5 suits ever, and I dress. This is how I dress every day.
Yeah.
Now that might be an oversimplification, but whatever. I don't wear suits often at all, right? Because a suit can be purchased by anybody. You can't do this.
Yeah.
I don't know where's your camera seeing. You understand me? This is. No. And this Amani collar. You play with your mama. But you know, I'm gonna tell you the time, the day, the moment I changed the way I dress.
That's the next question.
I'm on tour 2012-ish, 2011, 2012. I'm on tour with Lil White, 3-6, this type thing, right? And we had I can't remember what city we might be in St. Louis, right? And we go to the DJ booth. So when you're on tour, when it's a music tour, right? Well, yeah, I'm sure you know. You get to the city, you go to the walkthrough, you go mic check or whatever, you go wherever you're gonna do in-store type things, wherever their space is, then you go to the radio station. We at the radio station, and it's like, yo, can we get a picture with you? You know, everybody, not me specifically, right? But everybody that was on the tour, and they take the picture, boom. In my head, it still plays like the old times, like boom, and then I can see the picture. When I see the photo, now mind you, at that time I got you remember when the Egyptian sweatshirts started coming in, the leather sleeves, right? Yeah, and I got on maybe some Evisus or maybe something like this, and I don't remember the shoes, but maybe a couple $100 shoes, $300-$400 jeans, $500 sweatshirt, something like this, right? But I was still a nigga in jeans and sneakers.
And you probably look like everybody else in the picture.
They couldn't spot me. This is what I felt like when I saw it. You couldn't point out who's the nigga. Like, who's that nigga? I said, never again. I got back. I did what I think you was talking about, which was it was some award show type of performance that I had to do. And my Nico was with me. He was my hype man. This was probably 2-3 days before. I was like, yo, let's go up there in suits. Like, what if we were a full suit?